jump from one system to another, from Prime Minister to the President and then back from Presidentship to Prime Ministership, both systems are bound to create problems. So if we want a transition from the traditional system to problem-based learning or community-based learning, we will learn what mistakes others have committed. We will learn how Dow got successful, and we will learn why some other medical institutes failed. And we will also learn that the graduates produced in the traditional system and the graduates produced by the problem-based learning or community-oriented education, how do they fare ultimately? In fact, one of the studies carried out in Australia has shown that the students who passed MBBS with the traditional system, they had a much better knowledge and understanding of the anatomy and physiology of the human body as compared to those who got education in problem-based or community-based education systems. So my humble duty is to analyze all these factors, and if any transition occurs, it will be a smooth process. And certainly the problem issue with Puri Banana by Professor Chima Sahab and certain issues raised this morning by Dr. Madiha, certainly we will take care of that. And some improvement which can be induced without disturbing the system, without costing anything in financial terms, there should be absolutely no delay. As head of the institution, it's my duty to thank Professor Masood Hamid Khan, Professor Fahim Masood Sahab, Professor Ijaz Hassan Sahab, Professor Zubairi, Professor Nahid Usmani, and all of you, and especially Professor Sirkul Islam Sahab, for being with us. I tell you, it's a great honor, and we all are the custodians of that. I know, as Professor Ahmad Aziz said this morning, that some downfall has occurred over the last 10 years or so. That is unfortunate. अगर कौम फिसला भी है तो हमने संभलना है, especially इस साल भी जो हमारा एडमिशन हुआ है फर्स्ट ईयर का, पंजाब के टॉप मोस्ट 260 बच्चे सीधे के सीधे खेल में आए हैं। किसी ने परवाह की कि उसका घर हिंजा है या पिंडी में है तो उसी के मेडिकल कॉलेज में दाखिल हो जाए। They have all turned over to KEMCAANA। तो ये हमारे लिए यहाँ पर एक बहुत बड़ा ऑनर है। It's a great honor for us, but it must make us much more responsible. What Madiha has done today, I'm sure she will be our best ambassador in USA, in Harvard, or in other leading medical institutions of the country. I pray for every one of you and request you to pray for me. Thank you.
To become a president of Pakistan Medical and Dental Council today. And this is the place from where I have learned the ABC of the medicine, and I think I have completed my career in medicine after retiring as principal of Allama Iqbal Medical College. But I tell you, Z is too far. I haven't yet reached to middle of the alphabet of medicine. It's a very vast knowledge because the human body is created by the Almighty Allah, and Creator knows the best about the creation. So it's only our duty to know it more and more so that we could alleviate the miseries of the alien humanity. The PMDC has been said many a times while I was sitting there, and I'm sure many more times when you were talking about the curriculum and other life problems of the medical profession. I feel very proud that my Vice President, Professor Masood Hamid of TMDC is also in the audience. And the Red Book, which you must have heard many times today, being quoted as the book. But this is not the final book. It was just an initial work of just putting the curriculum into some form or some shape. And as has been rightly said, you cannot and you will never be able to give final shape to a curriculum. It is a process of continuous development. And it changes with time, with the advancement of knowledge, with teaching aids, and with the modalities of learning when they develop. Well, I had seen that era also when a professor used to write with a chalk on a blackboard and we used to copy. And that I have studied that era. Now you can directly quote the proceedings, the developments of today, even directly on the wall of your auditorium. So the resources are changing. And when I look at, I will confine my talk only to the curriculum because PMDC nowadays deals with very, very difficult and diverse issues, but just focusing on the curriculum. Since we took over 1.5 years back, we were determined that the change must be brought into the curriculum. And many speakers here are witness to it that they are the part of the task force, or the team, or the workshop members who have been met several times to redefine our curriculum. And we have been on it for over a year. And in our 112th meeting last month, we were able to give it almost a final shape. Now, what our problem at PMDC is that we deal right from Hyderabad to Karachi. And rightly said by Dr. Zubairi that when you want to bring change, I tell you, I have met many friends, but less enemies. That's a great credit to today's faculty, that they are ready to change, provided you can convince them of the change which you are going to bring is relevant and doable. Now, coming on to these two aspects, PMDC is mandated to lay down minimum criteria of learning, imparting, teaching, or you could say the curriculum. See, what to teach and how to teach, these are two issues with which we as a teacher or academician are faced with. PMDC will lay down by this very year. In PMDC, the curriculum must be revised or must be updated after every 5 years. That's compulsory on us. And if it has not been done in the past, I would say that was a negligence. It should have been. And it should have been by now 10th revision of the curriculum, whereas it's going to be the second one now. And inshallah, you will see that the curriculum which we are developing will be meeting the needs of today because everybody is on board. And then, as has been said by a few people, that it is not possible with one go to pass an order that today in whole of Pakistan you can change the system. You have to move gradually with the acceptance of each and every institution and the university. Those who are willing to accept the change, we do not create any obstacle. We facilitate. And our fund is the first example of adopting its own problem-based and community-oriented program being run in their university, and they are carrying out the evaluation, and PMDC is resisting their practice. Then Professor Masood Ali has started program in his university. We do not say why he has started, we encourage him. Musajjab Hussain has started there in Rawalpindi. So PMDC in fact, Dr. is there to facilitate the implementation lies with the universities. PMDC will not say that, okay, if you are doing this thing, we will not register your graduate. No, we say, please go ahead if you have the capacity and the will, please go ahead. We will accept, we will facilitate, but this process has to go gradually. Those who can do it, welcome. Otherwise, we have also in mind that we continue with a hybrid system so that this transition takes some time till every institution, say I have to think about an institution in Larkana, institution in Nawabshah, institution in Kohar. So all those places, they are also an institution accredited and affiliated by the PMDC. So that is how PMDC is playing its proactive role as far as changing curriculum, updating of the curriculum is concerned. And when this type of full day programs are done in collaboration with our graduates who are at the moment abroad, and they are giving their input in say why you are here today, because you want to listen what change should be brought and you want to be a part of that. These type of symposia, seminars, workshops are going on almost in every university. That means change is imminent, and it's not that PMDC is not going to own it. PMDC owns this change, and inshallah we will. We have already allowed the universities to take off as they want. The other thing which we consider is, okay, we can lay down the criteria, we can give you guidelines regarding curriculum, but what you are teaching, the way you are teaching, are your evaluation bodies ready to evaluate that teaching? That is one issue which is yet to be solved. If you start a problem-based learning or modular system of teaching, you as a King Edward University, you can do it. But take it as a country-wide that whether the examining bodies are ready to impart the evaluation methodology, our evaluation system based on that curriculum. So we have to go a step ahead and we have to take all those evaluating bodies also on board that look, this is it, and please come up with that, and that will solve our problem if we stand united on this, and if we are determined, there is no bar that we cannot update our system. As far as Pakistan Medical and Dental Council is concerned today, it belongs to you, it will always belong to you, whether I am there or not, somebody else, maybe KEMCAANA, maybe from the National Medical, maybe from the Law Medical College, some of you will be heading this PMDC, and I wish a great success to your conference and the deliberation which you have made, and in summary, if you send to us also, we will also study it, the outcomes of this curriculum seminar, so that if something is to be incorporated, we will certainly do that. I once again thank you, Hansam, for inviting me. Thank you very much.
Model is PMDC using, and what is the time period? And secondly, if KEMC or KEM University wants to bring in a curriculum change, do they have to apply for it? And if there is any significant red tape?
We are issuing the guidelines, right? And that is the problem there. And we are issuing that in a very short time. And then every university is free to adopt that. In fact, they will adopt that. It depends how much time they take. It will depend on them. But from PMDC side, there will be no.
Thank you very much, Dr. Siddharth. That's very, very encouraging. I'd like to all give you a round of applause for supporting the PMDC.
So kindly forgive me if my advance apologies if I forget something. I'm extremely grateful to the Chief Guest, President Pakistan Medical and Dental Council, Professor Siddharth. He has decorated today's afternoon session by his presence. And this curriculum seminar of its own time, I think all the credit goes to Professor Zatullah Khan for his vision. King Edward Medical University is already working on it. When I graduated from this institution about 33 years ago, that curriculum and today's curriculum is, I think, a lot of difference. With the dedication of the faculty members, I see a very rapid change. Professor Atif Kasmi Sahab, I'm very grateful to you. Nawaz Muttai Sahab, Dr. Mohammad Asif for his excellent performance as a moderator. I'm extremely grateful, and my thanks are due to all these speakers from within the country and from outside the country. I'm a very, very small person to thank these highly talented people, the members of the faculty who have taken their time and they have listened, and for a great brainstorming. I personally agree, training of the trainers is very important, and we are all, I think, in a better capacity to work in a collective team work. My thanks are also due to all participants, to the consultants, to the residents, to the staff members, to the organizers and everyone. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
End of this scientific session, rather the end of the KEMCAANA symposium, I would first of all request our Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Siddharth to please come. Here we have the roster of the to facilitate, and along with him I would request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Mohammad Khan, to please come to the stage to distribute the certificate. First of all, about time is money.
you ask your introduction, it will never stop. I know too much about her. Dr. Nahid Usmani is being here till 1980, as you all know. She is associate professor at the University of Massachusetts and has a great passion for teaching and transmitting that teaching and her experience to her most beloved country, Pakistan. We want to thank you, Nahid, for arranging this symposium. Only I know and a lot of other people who have arranged part of the symposium know how much hard you put in. Thank you so much, and we hope that you will continue to be with us when we need you. Thank you.
Nahid Usmani is also my pastor, myself, Naseem, Nahid and Sabrina. We are all from the land of Haiti. We are all pastors. Now I would request our Honorable Vice Chancellor of DUHS, Professor Masood Amir Khan, to please come to the stage and take this certificate. I would now request Professor Roxana Zubairi, Dean of the Undergraduate Medical Education, AKU, to please come and take her